I think there's like a big difference between what I put on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then what I put on this. This is kind of like my little safe place. I gotta remember that. Because I don't want to hold back. You know, there's some stuff that like goes on in my life that I don't put on this platform, only because it's a public platform. You know, certain aspects of relationships that I'll have and that kind of thing, even if they're bothering me. Although, like, I think if you watched enough of these, you'll see me go through like breakup or whatever you want to call that, somebody that was in another continent, but I was pretty vague about it for the most part. And I'm conflicted because like I'm in a really good headspace, like a really good headspace, and at the same time my heart hurts for a certain person because they're struggling. I was never put in a situation where I was forced to like stay in my car. For whatever reason, I never got to that point. Fantasized about it, thought about like, I don't even know if staying in my car, you know, I think there's that trigger about my mom because she did that and didn't tell anybody. And then the only way I knew that she was doing that is she's in the hospital and I'm going to clear out her car, get some of her belongings. I needed to get her purse. And I opened up her car and I saw all of her stuff. And then I put two and two together because she didn't have a place. And so she was literally sleeping in her car. For how long, I don't know. And my mom wasn't the type. Like, she just... Not that anybody's the type to do that. I don't think anybody's fit to stay in their car. But my mom... I mean, she was like... Growing up, she was like... bougie. To have to be at that low of... having to stay in her car because she's got nowhere to go was really rough for me to see. You know, it's why like I remember that day perfectly, vividly. Finding her wallet, seeing that it had $5 in it. No credit cards. The ones that she did have were no bueno. And I knew that her car was 3 months behind. I mean, I don't know how much longer she would have had. And I never went up there and asked her, hey, are you staying in your car? It's obvious. I bring this up because somebody's going to sleep in their car tonight. And there's nothing I can do about it. Let me rephrase that. There's nothing I'm going to do about it. Like, I'm not going to have anybody in that particular situation come to the house, no matter how much I care about them. I can try to help. I can try to provide enough resources, you know, a couple options, but at the end of the day, this could just be that result of... I watched a video today, somebody else sharing about their recovery, and they talked about they had no help. I know what that's like. I don't know if I want to say that I didn't have any help. I mean, I was able to get into a treatment center, and then I had to figure out all the bills from in that treatment center, which I did. Drew out of my 401k, FMLA, just to make sure that, like, the kids didn't, like, they had a place while I was doing what I had to do. So I didn't really just have to take care of myself. But that person's kind of right about, like, not having help. I'm the type of person that doesn't want to hear advice from people. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm willing to take suggestions, but sometimes I just don't want to hear it. Those are the times I probably need to hear it. They said this could be affecting my recovery. I don't know if I believe that. Well, if I dwell on it for long enough, it could very well do that. So I got to be careful that I'm not letting it affect my recovery. I mean, like, when I think about something affecting my recovery, maybe I'm not understanding the statement. Because I think of, like, oh, it's gonna make me get loaded. No, it's not. Nothing's gonna make. That's not gonna. But that doesn't necessarily have to be like that. It could just be other shit. I'm really easy to, like, give advice. Not the easiest to take it. I'll follow suggestions as long as I'm okay with them. But am I, like, that's not how this works. Gratitude. Clearly I'm a little struggling here, so how do we get through this? We get through it with gratitude. Acceptance. Like, everything is happening the way it's intended to happen. I can't control other people, places, or things. So I accept things for what they are right now. Gratitude. I'm grateful for my recovery. I'm grateful for my clean time. I'm grateful for my sponsor. I'm grateful for the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. I'm grateful for the journey that I've had so far. I'm grateful I still have a job. I'm grateful for my support system. I'm grateful for the person I talked to today who gave me this advice. And is willing to give me advice instead of like, hey, that's not my shit, I don't care. I'm grateful for that person. Grateful for my car. I'm grateful for my kids. I get to see them every day. I'm grateful I'm out of IOP and OP, not in a treatment deal. I'm grateful that I thought of what I'm going to make for dinner and that I have food to make dinner. Grateful for what I did at work today. It did really good today. I'm grateful for my cologne. Grateful for the gym, my clothes, my shoes, that my hands work, that I can walk, that I'm not on a machine so I can breathe, that it's not raining, that it's not 1,000,000 degrees. Grateful for the social media platforms and how I use them. Grateful I'm alive. Grateful my mom's with me. Grateful for my higher power. Grateful for God. That I have money in the bank. That I still have hair. That I've taken care of myself enough where I feel good about myself when I look in the mirror. I'm grateful I have a job. Clean clothes. My washer and dryer works. Of running water, and I can turn the nozzle over and it'll turn warm. That I have a septic system and I can flush a toilet, even if I have to like plug it in and unplug it currently while I'm fixing it. I'm grateful for this watch. Grateful for my skincare. I'm grateful that I was able to be there for somebody today, even if it didn't work out the way I wanted to work out. I was able to at least be there for somebody, find resources for somebody. I'm grateful that I care. I'm grateful for the bosses I have. And then I'm on step 4. I'm grateful I know how to make fried rice. I'm grateful that I know how to cook. I'm grateful for internet radio. I'm grateful for a specific song. Grateful I know how to do this. And then where do we go from here now that I can breathe? Not as stressed as much anymore. At least a little bit less. Go to prayer. Pray for this individual. That he makes it through the day, makes it through the night, and is able to utilize this as a perspective and a result. I can remember the really bad relapses and I can remember the not so bad relapses. They were all bad to me. There were relapses that were like not as bad. They always led me to like shame, guilt, and hating myself. Maybe just not as much as this time or that time, but in the end, I can't remember a time that wasn't fucking terrible. And it always progressed to that. I can remember having a couple years clean and then relapsing, and that wasn't that great. But the problem was it wasn't that bad. It's like, well, shit. I can remember going into work and somebody saying, well, buddy, it's not the end of the world. I just didn't understand what they meant by that. It's like they knew. I can remember on the board, days till, and then ... and then there were these 2 dates. Felt like it was like a tally of like when I would relapse again. they always put it out further than it, because they had like faith in me. Maybe that wasn't it. I just know I haven't seen that up there anymore. And I'm sure it wasn't that. But I don't have to worry about the tally anymore, or if there's this bet of when I will again. Or getting a birthday card where on the birthday card it says, just don't get weird. And then somebody put, you know he will. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Today. Sometimes it's good to like, you know, life goes like this weekend was perfect. My time off was perfect. That can put me on a high horse real quick, where everything is all good. Sometimes I need to be reminded that I'm just one bad decision away from being in a dark place. And instead of being sad, maybe being a little more grateful. And not taking on somebody else's inventory so hard. And reminding myself, hey man, you did the best you could in that situation. That's all you really can do. So don't, on one side of it, sit here and be like, oh yeah, I was fucking, look at me, I tried to do this. But on the other side of it, don't take it on so heavy to where like it's a burden and you're wearing it on your shoulders. That balance between grace and truth, right in the middle, where Jesus always sat. It's like that story of, you know, it's like there's a story about him always staying in the middle. Never was too far on the side of truth, and never was too far on the side of grace. He gave the exact amount. Finding a way to be in that middle area will help me stand firm. Because if I'm sitting too far into grace, I'm not focusing on truth, well then I'm just like absorbed into what's going on right now, and it's like I'm beating myself up. There's some truth to this, right? There's some truth how I got to this point. But if I sit too far into the truth and I want to beat on somebody, be like, well, because you did this, because you did that, because you didn't do this, because you didn't do that, there's no grace given. Well, then I'm too extreme on that side as well. So being on the truth and being in the middle gives me the ability to offer a helping hand, but also remember that we have to go through these journeys to get us to this point of where we're like, okay, I humbly asked for your help. Please. It's what I needed. If somebody would have thrown down the ropes for me and saved me every time I felt guilt and shame, I'd still be getting loaded right now. If somebody would have cradled me and say, hey man, it's just part of like being an addict. Like I'll guard all of this for you. Do you need me to go get you this? Do you need me to go get you that? You just hang at the house and just remember it's okay. Then I would have never like gotten to that point where I was like, fuck man, I need you bad. Please. I'm willing to do anything. So I know that we need to go through these things. I just don't want to watch somebody else go through it. Because I don't want to see somebody go through that pain. That's the pain I would never wish upon anybody. The pain I felt, I would never wish upon my enemy. No matter what they did to me. I wouldn't want them to go through that. To experience what did to myself and how I felt about myself. Like, I don't want anybody to feel that. But the bottom line is, like, they have to. Like, otherwise, they're not going to get better. I just want people to be good, like be all right. I can't do anything for anybody. All I can do is try to offer a helping hand and have a good enough boundary to where I don't like jeopardize my recovery. That's like the hand on my back. So it's gonna be okay. We have to go through it sometimes. And it's okay for me to have empathy. It's not okay for me to jeopardize my recovery. We're not responsible for our disease, but we are responsible for our recovery. And we are wanted, needed, and loved. And if you haven't heard this today, I love you. And it may not be all right now, but if you put enough effort into it and you work hard enough, it will get different, and then it'll get better. Sometimes different is even better than the same, doing the same shit over and over, expecting a different result. Sometimes we just gotta go through it. Sometimes we gotta go through it enough until we grow through it. And I don't know how long that go through it is for some of us. For me, it was quite a long time. Until I started growing through it. If it would have happened any earlier or any later, I wouldn't have experienced what I've experienced so far. And I'm grateful for it, so I don't want to take that away from anybody. So you do have what it takes. If you can watch this, you have what it takes.